History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy
In the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling me.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. Send us some of your pictures.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
And this morning we are tracking the latest developments in the coronavirus crisis. Concerns now about it at Rice University. Ahead, we're live with why some employees and students there have been asked to self-quarantine. Plus, Joe Biden predicted he would win South Carolina, and the people of that state did not make him a liar. Ahead, the results some say were far better than expected. And on this Sunday morning, you can do your part to raise money for a great cause, lacing up your walking shoes. Ahead, where everyone is meeting up if you want to take part in this awesome event. A good Sunday morning to you. I hope you enjoyed your leap day, the last time you'll have that for 4 years. And I hope you enjoy Gabriel's tie as I do every single morning.
Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We're trying to bring some sunshine. It's not going to be much sunshine today. A lot of clouds today, but it's warm. So there's a little silver lining for you, I think. Captain Sinus relief camera shot looking toward downtown. 70 degrees at Hobby Airport. South-southeast winds at 14 miles an hour. Look at those clouds in Galveston where it's 68 degrees. South-southeast at 18 miles per hour. You notice that common thread, south and breezy. That's going to be the trend going forward. Outside the Channel 2 studios on the Southwest Freeway, 70 degrees as well. South winds at 18. So that just the Sugar Land temperature there, but you get the picture. It is quite breezy out there right now. 70s popping up now. So early in the morning, it's already 10 o'clock and 70 degrees, which is already higher than our normal high is for this time of the year. 68 in Galveston, 66 Columbus, 67 in Huntsville, the cool spot, but everybody starting to get these increasing winds now. 21 miles an hour sustained in Lake Jackson, 18 in Galveston, 14 and 15 in Houston and Katy. We will continue to see those wind speeds throughout the day. Exact track radar is quiet. Clouds are there, but no rain to speak of. We'll see a chance for those showers, though. This Futurecast model shows the showers popping up later on this afternoon. Light in nature, streamer showers, we call them. The temperature, though, should get to about the mid-70s, depending on how much shower activity you get where you are. The rain chances will peak at around 30% later on between 2 and 3 o'clock. We've got a 10-day forecast with some heavy rain in the forecast. We'll tell you when that is and time it all out for you coming up.
All right, Gabriel, thank you. Now to the coronavirus concern at Rice University. That's after the school reported a possible exposure to the virus and asked some employees and students to self-quarantine. Channel 2's Taisha Walker live outside Rice with what the school is saying now. Taisha?
Yeah, the Houston Health Department is stressing that there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus within the city. The measures that Rice University are taking are simply a precaution. The school says that they had to ask a small group of both students and employees to self-quarantine after an employee may have been exposed to the coronavirus while on an overseas trip out of the country. It's a country that the CDC, that is not on the CDC's restricted list, but we don't know exactly which country that is at this point. The university assured staff and students that it is taking all necessary precautions and is working closely with the Harris County Public Health Department. Rice University at this time saying that school and all activities on campus will go on as normal. Reporting live from Rice University, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Taisha, thank you. The Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston, expressing concern also about the coronavirus, issuing an advisory to churches to stop using the chalice during Holy Communion, urging churches instead to distribute Holy Communion under the form of the host. These changes will reduce physical contact during Mass and minimize the risk of a potential virus spread. If you're sick, the Archdiocese says you should stay home and not feel obligated to go to Mass. This is all coming as the United States has its first death from the coronavirus, a man in his 50s who'd not traveled, dying at a nursing home just outside of Seattle. The CDC says the patient had underlying health conditions and that it was likely community spread, meaning the source of infection is unknown. On Click to Houston, we've got an entire section dedicated to the coronavirus where you'll find the latest stories from around the world and right here in Houston. Just look for it under the drop-down menu on the homepage. New this morning, police believe a man who was shot was driven by family members a few blocks searching for help just before he died outside a gas station in Southwest Houston. That man found at Hiram Clark Road and West Airport Boulevard around 7:30 last night. He was on the ground outside of a Mercedes-Benz. Investigators say they believe he was shot near West Orem and White Heather Drive. No word yet on what led up to that shooting. Also at the same scene, a man allegedly driving into several vehicles during that investigation. At about 10:40, 4 vehicles were involved. The only person taken to the hospital ended up being the suspect who was driving. Investigators believe alcohol may have played a role in that crash. Arson crews are trying to find out what started a massive fire that broke out at a West Houston apartment complex at the Gables Apartments at Whittington near South Derry Ashford. Fire officials say they responded to that scene, finding heavy fire coming from the 2nd and 3rd floor of one building. Crews were able to quickly knock the flames out, but at least 10 apartments were damaged. Thankfully, all residents were able to get out and nobody was hurt. A big win for Joe Biden on Saturday at the South Carolina Democratic primary. That win breathing new life into his campaign as he hoped after the disappointing results in Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada. Biden was the dominant winner in South Carolina, getting over 48% of the votes. Frontrunner Bernie Sanders came in 2nd place there. Sanders said he won't let the loss derail his campaign.
And we are very much alive. All of those who've been knocked down, counted out, left behind, this is your campaign.
You cannot win them all. I believe very strongly that the people of this country on Super Tuesday and after are going to support our campaign.
Candidates are now turning their attention to preparing for Super Tuesday in a couple of days. Here's a closer look at those results. Joe Biden with 48% of the vote, Bernie Sanders with 20%, followed by billionaire Tom Steyer, who dropped out of the race after his 3rd place finish. Pete Buttigieg getting 8.2% of the vote. Elizabeth Warren ended 5th with 7%. Before the primary, she was busy campaigning in Houston, holding a rally last night at Discovery Green, giving a speech addressing her plans for the country.
This is our moment in history to dream big, fight hard.
Before Super Tuesday is Alabama. Pete Buttigieg hoping for some votes in Houston, too. His campaign holding an event at Texas Southern University today. Mayor Pete won't be there, but Maryland Congressman Anthony Brown will be there in his place, talking to attendees about why he thinks Buttigieg is the best candidate. That's happening at TSU Public Affairs Building at 3:30 this afternoon. People who attended the San Antonio Livestock Show and Rodeo early this month may have been exposed to rabies. The Department of Health and Services there is warning people that visited the cattle barn at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo between February 11th and 14th may need to be checked for possible rabies exposure. A cow in the cattle barn developed rabies and may have spread it during that time frame. The streets of downtown Houston will be filled today with people looking to raise awareness and money for AIDS research. The 31st Annual AIDS Walk Houston is happening downtown at Sam Houston Park. That event raises funds for AIDS Foundation Houston and more than 14 organizations that provide several types of service to the nearly 30,000 Houstonians currently living with HIV or AIDS. Mayor Turner will kick off that event starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Stronger than ever. Coming up, a local actor speaking out, sharing how he plans to fight bullying on today's Sunday Conversation. Now here's health reporter Haley Hernandez with the story she's working on for Monday night at 10.
A toxic cancer-causing chemical in the city's tap water.
It's in way more of our water supplies than I think any of us have imagined.
Now KPRC Channel 2 investigates has the brand new test results.
Everybody's got to drink water. So they start to freak out.
The changes we could finally see after our years of relentless reporting into the safety of our drinking water. Monday at 10.
Welcome back. Action Magazine is the result of a boy's dream to put a spotlight on the bullying epidemic. Like many of us, Gabriel Silva was bullied while he was in school, and he took that experience and wanted to help others who were going through similar situations. In this week's Sunday Conversation, Tanya Wright introduces us to the local actor who shares his story.
Okay, Gabriel, can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Okay, well, I was being bullied when I was little in elementary school because of my size. And so basically I got into acting because at first my mom put me in there to build up my self-esteem, and at first I really didn't like it. And then I started to like it, and well, now I'm acting. I am an introvert, but when I'm acting, it's just a bit different because like I get to step into somebody else's shoes for a minute, and I find that fun.
You said you were bullied when you were in elementary school, right. And you kind of did the whole Action Magazine, Action clothing line to kind of put a spotlight on bullying.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, basically how we started the whole magazine and clothing line and all that was I had gotten back from Los Angeles, and I had found out that since I had left school, my friends were starting to be bullied. I felt a bit angry because I couldn't do anything to help them. And so my mom and I came up with the idea to start the clothing line and magazine and all that to spotlight bullying and help maybe end it one day.
You said your friends were being bullied, but once you kind of like branched out and started talking about it more through all that, you saw it was actually happening to a lot of people you may not even expect.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, like when I found out that it was like a bunch of people, like celebrities had even been bullied, and I was just like, wow. Because you'd never expect that.
Can you tell us a few people that were featured in the magazine, or one's interviews, or things you thought were just different or unique?
Like in their own way, they've all stuck out. So like it's hard to name one person or one interview, because like they've all stuck out.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about like one or two specifically, maybe?
Tanya Wright from Little Women. I think it was interesting that someone from like a popular TV show would reach out to us and ask for an interview.
Can you tell us a little bit about what she said in that interview that was so special or stood out?
Well, like she was just talking about how she was going through the things because she was small for her size, and that just stuck out because that was like basically my situation when I was little, because I was being bullied because of my height.
Did she have any good advice for you?
Her advice basically was, doesn't matter about your height, you know, sky's the limit, you can pretty much do anything. We started this to help people, but I never really thought it would help that many people. So it's like a dream almost.
How does it feel? You guys have had people who've read your articles and something in the articles resonated with them, or people who have been bullied and have seen them and it makes them feel better or makes them think of it in a different way. So how does that make you guys feel?
I mean, it makes us feel like happy because like we were able to do what we set out to do.
Going out there to Hollywood and being in movies and being around big celebrities, it's got to be just really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's just exciting to just be there and have fun.
Can you tell us some of like the people you've met?
Like, most of the people that I've met that have stuck it out to me are just all the people behind the scenes, because eventually I'd want to be a director and a producer and all that. So just getting to see them work and them showing me how to do these things has been just the best part.
Who inspires you, or who would you want to be in Hollywood?
You see, I get asked that a lot, and I'd always say I don't want to be the next whoever. I want to just be me.
You can see this conversation and other conversations on our website, click2houston.com/Sunday. You know what that music means. It's rodeo time. The big party starts on Tuesday, and today crews will spend the day dismantling that mini tent city packed all weekend for the World Championship barbecue contest. More than 250 teams fired up the grills and the smokers for the competition. No real telling how much food was cooked or consumed, but we can say it was a lot. Right now, a lot of people are resting from eating all of that delicious food. In the end, the overall grand champion was Fayette County, who've won a big trophy and bragging rights for their great food. I didn't make it out. I need to make it out to one of those.
Man, it smells great. I had a lot of things going on. I couldn't get there either, but I'll be going around tasting barbecue for the rest of the month in honor of the barbecue cook-off.
That's a good decision.
Hey, CJ Rose gets out. She works out a lot. She runs, and she's one of our Click 2 Pins photographers.
Nice.
Beautiful shot from this morning. Thank you, Miss CJ.
Thank you.
Yep, we love that. Reminds us we need to get out. Overcast skies, though. There's a giraffe. There's Bobby down there. He's sitting down. You can see
Bobby.
that. Yeah, Bobby the baby out there. South-southeast winds at 14 miles per hour, 70 degrees. 70s are common right now. Look at this, 70 at Hobby, Pearland, Sugarland, Angleton, 73 in El Campo. You get the win for the highest temperature, El Campo. 68 in Conroe, upper 60s in many places. And throughout the year, we have these winds that are 18, 14 miles an hour. 21 in Angleton is the most sustained winds. But we have gusts of 25 in Katy and 26 in Angleton. Be ready for a windy day today, but it's going to be on the warm side because we continue to have the flow around this high pressure that's off to the east, bringing in that moisture from the Gulf. That will continue to be the case all the way until our front comes through like Wednesday. So between now and then, there are a lot of things that can happen. What we have is a warm flow going up to the north. This is all going to be sliding in this direction with that Pacific upper level flow as opposed to the north to south flow. So we're going to have that warm air coming through because once we have those winds die down, that moisture is still going to be coming in on the surface. So we could be setting up for some sea fog. It's going to be a problem over the next several days. But here's a futurecast model looking at the big picture, if you will, going into Monday. Stop it on Tuesday with these elongated showers all the way across over into Texas and the Panhandle and over and causing some real challenges in Mexico. Look at Wednesday. We have some strong storms for us Wednesday morning, and we see this moving on out here. By the time we get through Wednesday evening, it moves out, and then we have mostly cloudy conditions until next Sunday night. Now, we'll take a closer look at what's going to be going on here in terms of the rain amounts. This is what we can expect after this rain comes through. Maybe 3 inches in some areas, maybe isolated spots even higher than that. Futurecast exact track radar looking quiet for the most part, the whole state, and that's going to be the trend except for those high clouds. This goes up. This is a closer look at the rain that'll be coming in starting on Tuesday, and by Wednesday we start to see some circulation right here. This is going to be a challenge as it moves across on Wednesday. Where that is will determine what chances we'll have of some strong storms. 75 degrees for our high temperature today, depending on where you come in, where the strongest storms are going to be. 64 to 68 tomorrow morning when you wake up. 70 to 79 in some places on Monday afternoon. So I think about 78 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow. Those rain chances highest going into now Wednesday. We may even put them up even higher. We're going to have to look out for maybe some strong to severe storms as well during that time. We'll keep you updated on that. Coming up this morning on Houston Newsmakers, Dr. David Pearce with the Houston Public Health Authority, the Fire Department Health Authority, says he's talking about the symptoms to watch for associated with the coronavirus.
The early symptoms are actually very much like the flu. People have fever. About 80% of people have fever, so 20% of people aren't even having fever, making it a challenge. So fever is very common. Respiratory symptoms, predominantly lower respiratory, so a deep cough as opposed to nasal congestion.
What we can do to avoid contracting the coronavirus on Houston Newsmakers coming up in about 10 minutes.
Coming up soon. Thanks, Cambrell. A growing number of Houstonians are finding themselves stranded, coming out of stores and restaurants to find their cars and their trucks gone. Coming up next, a look at just how much this sort of crime has spiked and what else thieves are targeting. Welcome back. This morning we're covering your crime concerns. Thieves are targeting cars, especially the tires and the rims, many of which are then sold online. Channel 2's Sion Rhodes is taking a closer look at the growing problem.
And I was just shocked, like what's going on really?
This is what Mustafa Abiri saw when he headed to his car in his apartment parking lot earlier this month.
My wheels are all gone. They're all cinder blocks.
Mustafa thought his wheels were secure.
Had preventative locks that they were able to break them through.
According to this internal HPD memo obtained by Channel 2 News, all types of auto theft crimes, including wheel and rim thefts, increased approximately 20% in January. But there's been what the Auto Theft Division commander characterizes as a significant increase in thefts from motor vehicles. According to the memo, there were 217 reports of thefts from motor vehicles in January 2019, but that number shot up to 524 in January of this year, an increase of 140%.
We have open active investigations on this. Could it be an organized crime ring? Obviously, we're looking into those sorts of issues.
Commander Dana Hitzman is the author of the memo, a summary of the monthly auto theft crime report, which also notes gun thefts related to auto theft crimes continue to climb and were up 25% last month.
It's very concerning.
Concerning, and she says preventable.
If we could remove those guns from the cars or at least lock them in a safe in the car, we could drastically reduce that crime.
HPD calls the numbers in the commander's memo informal and unofficial and part of a trend analysis, but they are using the numbers to address specific hotspots and beats being most impacted by auto theft crimes. Here's a live look from our Southwest Freeway camera. In a moment, a final check of the weather. Time now 10:24. Hey, guess what? Today's National Peanut Butter Lovers Day. And orangutans and gorillas at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo are having a great time celebrating. What is this music? You can see they're using long sticks to scrape and eat delicious peanut butter. The zoo says the primates occasionally get some peanut butter for enrichment. It's good for them. You can celebrate National Peanut Butter Lovers Day too, however you'd like. My favorite, a peanut butter banana sandwich with some honey on it.
That is peanut butter eating music, isn't it? You guys are something else. Well, it's peanut butter eating weather, I can tell you that. Captain Sinus Relief camera shot. 70s at Bush, Katy, and Hobby. Galveston is at 68 degrees. Exact track radar mostly quiet. On the surface, we have the flow from the south. It's going to be breezy today, so hold on to your hats. Hour by hour forecast. 75 we're going to get to. If you get rain around, you won't get to 75, but many of you will. And by the way, tomorrow morning, it's going to be warm along the coast, 68, 64 inland. By the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be warm, 70 to 79 degrees. And over the next several days, we see those rain chances going up. Tuesday, Wednesday can be problem days.
Peanut Butter Lovers Day, Kolache Day, a lot to celebrate. Have a good one.